Ooh, I think I found it.
Come on, baby.
Did I find it? I think I found it. Are we? Oh, are we good? Yay! Brad fucking finally figured it out. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that language, but goddamn, guys. Jeez, a whiz. The FCC doesn't care about YouTube. Thank God for that. And I don't have any sponsors, so thank God for that. But jeez, a whiz. Welcome to Stockwatch Sunday, everybody. So I just gave you a whole spiel about lines of crack because apparently you guys thought I was doing that. A little bit different. A little bit different of a setting here, obviously, guys. So this is actually a place that is near and dear to my heart because it's kind of like where we got some cool like podcasting skills. We try to cut our teeth doing that kind of stuff. And what I mean when I say our, I'm talking about this guy over here. So you guys can see over there, that is Christian Castro. For those of you who know who he is, you probably know him because you're part of the Chaos Crew, which if you are part of the Chaos Crew, you get a daily watch list for me, and we get private live streams. And there he is. Welcome, man.
What's up, my people? So we're sitting next to each other, so I got to look at the camera, not at you. It's about
so
time. That's
it's
all
so
I'm
cute.
saying.
It's so cute. Jeez, a whiz. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So if you're visiting for the first time, welcome to Stockwatch Sunday. My name is Brad. And what we do here on every Stockwatch Sunday is just I have 5 stocks that I'm watching throughout the week. And then we take it up for some questions, which you guys can add into the chat here. But we are socially distancing. That's right. So the reason I brought Christian on was because it just adds a little extra, insight. He's helped me along. He's kind of been the man behind the camera, so to speak, along with We Trade HQ admin has been, the other one behind the camera. And so they've just been a big help. And so for what's going on, we're just kind of like just trying it out. We're going to create Stockwatch Sunday here and just test it out, see how you guys like it. So let us know. We're going to get this going on a little bit more often. Or we're going to try this out, I should say, Christian, right? We're going to try this out.
Wait. So I'm not in good? Like I'm not in for good?
Well, not yet. It's an
listen,
experiment.
All right. I'm making a bold prediction that we're going to get a record today. Because I'm on, we're getting a record. So I need everybody to like.
My ass.
Please give us a thumbs up if you want me to come back.
All right. Well, maybe that'll happen. Well, basically, we're just trying to test it out. We're trying new things, right? I'm always trying to make this channel better. You guys know that. And so, just thought about bringing in a different setting, see how you guys like it. We might try different areas of where we're at. So for those of you who don't know or haven't been a part of the channel for too long, this area that I'm at is called the Horseshoe Cayman. It's in Fells Point, Baltimore, and I thought it'd be a really cool setting. So they've been shut down because obviously the Rona has taken its toll and things, but they've been rebuilding this whole thing and revamping it. It looks absolutely incredible. So hopefully in future weeks we'll be able to show you different areas of the bar. But I was like, you know what? Let's do something outside of the office, outside of my little studio, and try to spice it up, make something different out of it. So, guys, you'll have to let me know what you guys think of it. But getting on to today's stream and what we got going on for the week, obviously we're going to talk about Tesla and Apple, but I thought that was going to be a cop-out. So I'm going to give you Tesla, Apple, give you my thoughts, and then I'm also going to give you the top 5 stocks that I'm watching for this week. So let me know what you guys, again, let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat here. But I really want to hear from you. So, okay. Yeah, I'm in B more. That's right. So as far as Tesla and Apple go, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys right quick. I'm going to bring you on over to Webull. And so I have Apple pulled up here first. We'll talk about Apple. So the record date is on Monday for the split. Now, a lot of people have asked me questions about the record date. What the heck does a record date mean? Do I need to have Apple shares on this record date in order for me to take part in the split? And the answer is no. So when you look at this is all of this is, as far as the record date's concerned, it has everything to do with just accounting. It has nothing to do with you, the investor, or the shareholder. You have to be into Apple before Friday's close this week. So you have to be in before Friday's close this week to take part into the split if you want to be a part of the split. So everybody has been asking that question, and so that's the answer. Tesla's, the record date was on the 21st. Same thing. I'm going to bring myself back here, actually. So same thing. The record date means absolutely nothing. Okay, so making sure that you are in before Friday's close when the effective date takes place on the 31st is what you really need to pay attention to. So if you think that you're missing the boat on the split for some reason, then make sure that you're in on Friday before the close this coming Friday. So the next question, why should you be in it or should you not be in it? What's the deal? Should you be worried about this split or not? And the answer is no, for either one of them. Getting into Apple is going to make a lot of sense, maybe to get in earlier before the split, and Tesla might be too, because there could be this theory that we will see some sort of rush of shares into this one, but maybe there won't be. There really isn't any kind of special meaning to the split at all. The only thing that it does is that it just makes it look prettier because it looks cheaper and it makes it easier for you to buy more shares. But honestly, the share structure is also going to split as well. So, the volatility is not going to be the same as it is right now because there's going to be a lot more shares to go around. So that's just kind of the theory as far as that's concerned. Christian, I actually kind of wanted to get your thoughts on this too. What are your thoughts on the split?
Well, so as far as leading up to it, you talk a lot about, hold, don't sell it, right?
Yeah.
And my thought is I have my position in Apple and Tesla, but I have my position in Apple that stays the same. And then I have some more capital. So whichever way it goes, I'm just investing more in it. So for me, I'm not selling Apple. Any opportunity, any dip for me is a buy.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'll come back over here. So at this point in the game, Tesla and Apple are becoming more of just buy and hold and not really traded at this point. You can trade anything. You can day trade whatever you want. But when it comes to Tesla and Apple, it's kind of like it doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense to just trade it at this point when all they've been doing is just continuously printing money. So in my opinion, I don't think there's really any need to sell them at all. And I think that just holding on to them wherever you buy that at, post or pre-split, just hang on to them, in my opinion. So options get treated the same. I see a lot of people asking about options. Christians, somebody wanted to know if the cowboy near you attacks people.
My friend here, we're trying to name the cowboy. So if you have any ideas for names, definitely throw them in. We
definitely need it. And it's almost like we have to have him part of the cast.
And
now.
They love the Adios Bichachos sign, which we should sign off on that from now on.
We should. We should. So this side of the bar, just to give you a little backstory, this side of the bar is the cantina side, right?
Yep.
So it's the oldest operating saloon. Let me make sure I get this right. It's the oldest operating saloon in the United States, correct?
Yeah, it's the oldest continuously operated saloon in the U.S. in North America, and it's one of 3 bars that existed before, during, and after Prohibition. So 1775. Not this side. This side is the newer side, but the saloon side, 1775.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So that's your little fun fact for the bar. Dirty Stitches. Cowboy's name is Slim.
Dirty Sanchez.
Baltimore Bart. That's hilarious. The hell yeah, Cowboy. That's what I'm talking about. I like that one. All right. We should bring the hell yeahs back too. What am I thinking? We should dress them up. We should get like a Stone Cold 316 or whatever. That would be hilarious.
Eric will let us do whatever we want.
Yeah, Eric's the bar owner, and he's given us the keys, which has been completely awesome.
Give me a hell yeah!
There we go. So, anyways, getting on to this week's stocks to watch. We have Best Buy, Salesforce. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Ulta that I have watching this week. And we'll get into the first one, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again with you guys and bring you back on over to Weeble. So if you guys haven't been privy to some of the streams that I've been putting up lately, I actually am creating a public account for my mentorship where I go live with folks from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time every single day of the week. And if you want to be a part of that, you can check the link down in the description, enter code SUMMER, and you can actually be a part of that. And you can be a part of that for 30 days free by entering in that code. And it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of people that are commenting already in the live chat that are in the mentorship. And basically what this does is just allows you to kind of gain more knowledge, and we all trade together. I obviously lead the group, no question about that. But I think what makes what makes our community great is that it's not just about one person or one individual, and I think that's what makes it great. So, all right. So that being said, it's the first time I said that. I think that being said, we'll get on to Best Buy this week. They have earnings Tuesday pre-market. Estimated earnings per share are $1.08. I think it'll be interesting to see how well they do as far as being a big box store. So the big question here will be how they did with e-commerce, in my opinion. It's tough to say if they're going to beat or not. I think that they could potentially do this. I would say that if there's any kind of pullback this week before earnings, so tomorrow, I would say that there's probably going to be at least some sort of pullback, potentially around 114.50, and I don't know. I just don't see this coming back below 113, but we'll see before earnings. I think we do see a run into earnings, though. However, my bold prediction for this, I'm going to come back here. I think that we should start something, and I'm just going to bring you in on this. But we talk about bold predictions all the time. Christian and I, just behind the scenes, we're always talking about bold predictions. My bold prediction for Best Buy is going to be $1.35. Estimated earnings per share is $1.08. That's my bold prediction that they're going to beat. What do you think?
I'll take it. You're putting me on the spot here, but I'll take it.
$1.35.
You've been pretty spot on with your bold predictions, but we need to start documenting them.
We did. Well, I mean, I have where I was right, where I was wrong, which I did not come prepared for this week. But we will get back to that next week. I was 4 out of 5 right last week, by the way. Just putting that out there. But $1.35 is my bold prediction for Best Buy. And, they're expected to report $260.2 million adjusted income is what their expectations are. I think that if they beat it, it'll be awesome. It'll be even better if they come out and miss and say, you know what, we're raising our outlook, though. Things are looking up. Maybe the second half of the quarter did really well. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. And, again, if we go back and look at the chart here, I think that like I said, 114.50, 114.47, and then if it somehow comes back down to maybe around below that, potentially 112.50, it's really tough to see it coming down all the way to 110 because that's really kind of where I'm seeing the solid support. But, we'll see what happens on Tuesday pre-market. Next is going to be Salesforce. So the thing is with Salesforce is they I think that they absolutely crushed this. Their earnings after hours on Tuesday, estimated earnings per share is 67 cents. And Salesforce is expected to report net income of $614 million. I think they absolutely crushed that. Their competition or the space that they're in is through cloud computing, and that has obviously been extremely hot. Tech stocks have been coming back lately, and I think that they're not over. The remote work, the tech stocks, not just FANG, right? I'm not just talking about FANG. We're talking about, we already saw Fastly coming back this week. We've already seen CrowdStrike also coming back. I think all of those retest all-time highs, and I think that Salesforce also can be in that conversation. It'll be interesting to see how they do as far as earnings are concerned, though. So if we look at this chart here, I think, this is Best Buy still, sorry. Let me pull up Salesforce. There we go. So CRM is the ticker. It's obviously been moving exactly how all of the other ones have. This is very interesting on the 4-hour chart. It kind of looks like a cup and handle. I think that this could certainly make a bullish move, especially if earnings come out and they beat. In the same period a year ago, the company posted earnings of 66 cents a share, and their expectation being 67. I think they just blow that out of the water. I mean, when you compare last year to this year and the demand that Salesforce has right now, especially when it comes to remote work, I just don't see how it matches up to that. And I don't know. Christian, do you have any thoughts on that?
This one's tough. So you're predicting it beats?
I'm predicting it beats, and I think that it beats it pretty handily.
I don't.
Okay.
However, I really like Salesforce, and I only say that because just the difference from last quarter was a surprise because we thought it would be last quarter. It didn't, and then this quarter, I was just surprised how much they raised expectations. So I hope they do, but I really like Salesforce from a long-term perspective, and we talked about this in the watch list when we were doing research for Salesforce. They dominate the space they're in, B2B, but they're also entering into education, which I think is going to be a huge move with most schools not going back.
Right.
So I like them a lot, but I'm saying they don't. They don't beat.
Why don't you think they beat?
I think the expectations are too high. And yeah, I just think the expectations are too high. I think they're trying to take a massive jump.
Yeah, so I could see that. I would say that they beat, but maybe don't beat what everybody thinks they should beat them by. I think that's probably what my thesis would be. It's interesting though. We'll see who's right on that one. We'll see who's right on that one. All right, so next one is going to be Dollar General. So Dollar General is going to be interesting as well. If the big box stores, as far as Walmart and Target are concerned, are any indicator to what is in store for Dollar General, it's going to be that they're going to just blow this out of the water. I've been saying this since the beginning, that these stores that have been able to remain open and still function and thrive through the Rona, as everybody has been locked into their homes, then I think that this is going to be one that I think really just does well. I think that it's really tough. It's been pulling back over the last several days. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you here and just kind of show you that I think that coming back down here to 196.99 seems a little bit unrealistic at this point in time, and I think that we probably end up seeing a run into those earnings. Those earnings are going to be on Thursday after hours, and I just missed what their expected earnings per share are going to be. Just missed that. So their expected earnings per share, I don't know what they are. Sorry about that. I will go ahead and get those pulled up as soon as I can.
92 cents.
What is it?
92 cents.
92 cents. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about Dollar General. Not Dollar Tree. 243, I believe. I'll double check.
Okay, 243 is going to be their expected earnings per share. I do apologize, guys. Getting everything into a new setting is kind of throwing me off a little bit, but we'll get it right. But coming back down here to 202.75 to 198.93 at the close on Friday, I think that this actually makes another move up. And 201.41 is going to be the spot to watch for a continuation here. Obviously, that all-time high at 202.75. This is something you don't want to be afraid of as far as all-time highs are concerned. No, this is not too high. I think this goes higher, and I think they actually beat expectations as well. If there's going to be any kind of dip, I could see this coming back down to around 196.99, and that's kind of about it at this stage in the game. Any thoughts on that, Christian?
They're going to crush it, and I was right. Spot on, off memory. 243.
243 is earnings.
Not sexy,
right?
But I mean, I think they're going to blow it out of the water. And for the rest of the year, I think they're going to blow it out of the water. I think it's a great stock to have.
Not only is it not sexy, but Kelsey Goke says Dollar General is dusty as hell.
I'll take that dusty old hag any day of the week. And their fundamentals are great, too. I need to point out their fundamentals look really good. So, hey, listen, I'll take the dusty old hag.
That is hilarious. That's hilarious. So
I'll blow the cobwebs off. I'll stop.
Oh my God! All right. Well, I mean, I just busted out the F word right at the beginning, so it's all good. Okay. So the only thing is missing is girls at the bar. Oh my God! All right. So next one is going to be Dollar Tree. Now, Dollar Tree, I think it's in the same vein. Dollar Tree's expected earnings per share are 92 cents a share. They are also pre-market on Thursday. And, I think it's 1 and 1A. I mean, Dollar Tree and Dollar General, I think they're both going to absolutely crush it. I think 92 cents is a bit of a joke as far as that's concerned. So we'll bring you back over here again to Weeble. 102.02 is the all-time high for it. I do believe, yes. 102.02 is the all-time high for it. Closed at 130 cents. I believe this runs into earnings on Thursday. Would I want to be holding on to this through earnings? I think that remains to be seen. I think, obviously, if I wanted to own one or the other, Dollar General is probably going to be my better bet, but I think Dollar Tree also crushes this as well. Any thoughts about this, man?
Yeah, so I like both. I agree with you on both. If I had to, you can make arguments for both. Fundamentally, I think that Dollar General is a better bet. I think if you play devil's advocate, Dollar Tree hasn't ran as much. But if you look at the fundamentals, even though Dollar General has ran, I think it fundamentally is still better, and I would take it before Dollar Tree.
You would take Dollar General before Dollar Tree?
Sorry, I would take Dollar General before Dollar Tree.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. I think that they're both going to be good, and I think they're both going to crush it. But if I had to choose one or the other, I would probably go after Dollar General and Dollar Tree. And that's kind of what I had them both up, because I felt like if I'm going to talk about one, then the questions are going to come about the other. So that's why I decided to talk about both of those. So real quick, before we get to the last one, guys, we haven't had too many people join into the Chaos Crew. We had one person pre-live, and I just wanted to extend the invitation to you as well. I already talked about the mentorship where I go live with you guys. You want to be a part of that live stream, you can certainly do that. But if you just want to get a taste of what it's like, come and check out the Chaos Crew. Click that join button down below. If you want to be a part of that community, it's a great community that I was just talking about in the beginning of the stream, that Christian and I go live kind of like this, but we're usually virtual or doing it remotely. Don't worry, we're still social distancing right now. It's just a really great community to be part of. We have 600 people that are in there. The daily watch lists that we put out are absolutely awesome. And we've just been crushing it these last couple of weeks with it too. And people are making a bunch of money. So for $5, I think it's definitely a steal. But, if you're not ready to make the commitment to the live streams every single day, that's just something you can just kind of get a snapshot of the market, help support this channel, and certainly would appreciate it if you guys would, come check us out.
Yeah, let's say it how it is. You need to join you're missing out. And I don't know if you realize this, but we are 8 away from 600 members, which is insane. We have 592 members. So I want to get at 600 before this is over. So I can't wait for everybody to join, and we can get an old hell yeah.
That would be sick. All right. Well, thanks for that pep talk. Last one is going to be Alta. Now, Alta, their earnings per share, or their earnings are on after hours on Thursday. Earnings per share are at 14 cents. And this one is actually one that I'm really kind of, I'm at a loss. Usually I'm pretty confident in whether or not I think a company is going to beat earnings, especially when I put it on Stock Watch Sunday. But I know that there was a lot of questions about this one, and I wanted to kind of really go through this and try to figure out what is going to happen with Alta. But there's two sides to this coin, I think. I think that, for me to really kind of be all in on Alta, I would have to then ask myself, if I was somebody who wore makeup all the time, but then I had to wear a mask over it, would there be any point in doing that? And so maybe that's why Alta could end up suffering and missing earnings. And then there's the other part of it where, maybe it doesn't matter. And their e-commerce side of things is actually doing really well. And I think that's really what's going to do. I think that's what's going to set Alta up in order to, as far as beating earnings are going, I think that's really going to be something that they would have to lean on in order for them to outperform their earnings expectations. And before I get to actually, I'm going to share the chart here with you real quick, and then I'll get your thoughts on this, Christian. But looking at the chart, I think that it's been interesting. It had a huge run up on Friday, just absolute monster run from 203 all the way up to around 214. Closed on Friday at 214. This is definitely one to watch. I think it's going to be exciting, but it's had so many ups and downs throughout the Rona at this point that it just makes it a really big question mark. So I don't know if I would be willing to hold through earnings on this, but I think that it'll get exciting before earnings come out on Thursday after hours. So this is one that I think that if it can run up and get up through 221, that we should see a really nice continuation here. If by some chance this pulls back and bounces off around 211, 212, that could be a really good spot to grab some on the dip, especially after on Friday's huge run up. And if it cannot hold that support, I like it around 209.15. But this is one that's a really big question mark for me. So Christian, I was just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on this one too, and like just where do you see something like Alta going?
I like Alta a lot. I think they crush earnings. But I think like you said, as far as Best Buy is concerned, I'm interested in their outlook. With that being said, it's down 25% in the past 6 months, so since February. And then from last year, it's down almost the same, a little bit more, like 30%. So I still like the company. Their margins look good. Fundamentals look good. Again, I echo your sentiments as far as earnings are concerned. That's worrisome, and I wouldn't hold over earnings, but I would take every opportunity on any dips on this one. And if you're willing to hold on to this stock, I think you're going to be sitting pretty.
I think that's a really good way to look at it. I think this is one where there's just going to be a lot of volatility, and you have to ask yourself if you're willing to kind of weather that storm, and maybe just see what earnings look like after they come out, and see if it makes it more attractive or not. Brats 1 2 3, welcome to the Chaos Crew.
Give me a hell yeah!
thanks for joining. I saw a couple of other people too. Anand, Krishna, welcome guys. So good to have you, and I appreciate the donation too, Roger. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for the RKT. Yeah, so RKT was also on the Chaos Crew. Roger is actually in the mentorship as well. So thanks for that, guys. Appreciate the support. Would love having you guys in there. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. So that is the top 5 stocks I'm watching this week. Now we get to probably your favorite part, and that is just answering questions that you have already put into the stream. Again, feel free to put them in. Hopefully we'll get to your question as soon as possible. We have 156 likes, and there's 488 concurrent in here, which means there's 488 of you watching right now. Can we get those likes up? Let's get them up over 250. I think that could happen. I think maybe you just forgot and fell asleep. I'll forgive you this one time. But I think getting into questions, you had something question that you wanted to pull from our community, right, Christian?
Yeah, absolutely. So my man Steve King, who's actually in the stream right now, I believe, he asked a great question. That
Steve's a good dude. I love Steve.
He is a good dude. So we do our live Q&A for our members on Friday.
Yep.
He asked a question a couple weeks ago that I think is a great question to bring up that everybody would benefit off of. It's in regards to stocks running, because there's a lot of stocks running at 52-week highs. So his question goes, when do you know if the stock is done running? He's had some problems holding on to a stock too long and losing profit. Talk about your exit strategy and when you decide on when you're going to get out of a stock.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So, I mean, when it's difficult, first of all, you have to have your emotions about you, right? So understanding that you can't let greed seep in. You can't let that fear of missing out seep in either. But really, when I'm looking at the chart, I'm looking for solid areas of support to start building a position. And I don't typically go in all at once with the position size. I try to go at it in chunks and kind of buy it a little piece at a time until I have a full position size that I already planned and told myself that I was not going to own any more than this amount of X stock. And then once it runs and starts to take off, then I start doing the exact same thing as far as exiting. So I will take up one piece at a time or trim some of that position down. And sometimes I'll end up trimming it all the way out, depending on how hard it runs. If it goes straight up, there's a very good likelihood there's probably going to be a significant pullback. So that would probably warrant, selling the entire position. But most of the time, when I'm in good quality stocks, I'm not usually all the way out. Unless I'm looking at it for something like a day trade, or like I said, if it goes straight up, something like that. But I'm usually scaling my way out and looking for potential dips to kind of buy back in and just continue building my portfolio up that way. So I think that scaling in, scaling out, and most importantly, having a plan and sticking to it. When you have a plan, what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So, I think that making sure that when you do get punched in the mouth, that you have a really good understanding of what you need to do in order to keep fighting those emotions, for sure. So, great question. And that, again, was from our Chaos Crew folks. Click the join button if you want to be a part of that. So, thanks, Steve. I appreciate you, brother. We are up to 210 likes. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I know you forgot about it. It's okay. It's all right. Appreciate you turning that like button blue. So thanks for the support. Appreciate you guys. So questions from the live stream. What do we got?
I got you. Yeah. So the first question is from Yamo. Does it make sense to sell Apple and then rebuy with margin before the split?
Does it make sense to say that again?
Sell Apple and then rebuy with margin before the split.
No, I don't think it really matters one way or the other. I think that just holding on to it and then selling it whenever you're happy to take profit makes the most sense. I don't think there's going to be much of an issue with Apple selling off either before the split or before or after it. And then we have the iPhone 12 coming up next month as well, which is going to supposedly blow everybody out of the water with their 3D cameras and everything else. So it's going to be really, really, really awesome. I want to give a shout out.
Give me a hell yeah.
To Laurent Lumcourt. Welcome to the Chaos Crew. Happy to have you. We'll see you tomorrow. Hope that answered your question, but really, there's not going to be any kind of difference fundamentally with Apple either before or after the split. So if you own it now, I would continue to just own it.
Yeah, we talked about this in the Chaos Crew. I mean, don't be cute. Don't try to get cute.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get cute, make a quick buck. Like, just get in the stock, stay in the stock, and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Right.
Let the stock work.
No
for
pun
you.
intended.
Everybody's trying to be cute, and it's ridiculous. Sorry, Yamo.
No.
All right, next question. Kels, I can't ask this question. Kelsey Go asked, can we add a segment called Brad?
The answer, hope.
Oh,
the answer,
he froze.
hope. So we should be back. Are we back?
We're back.
What the hell? Sorry. I told you we had technical difficulties. Hopefully you guys are sticking around. Yeah, there's still some people here. We're good. Sorry about that.
I have to re-ask the question because I think I've frozen the question.
You do have to re-ask the question, so I know it's going to be painful. So real quick, guys. Sorry about that. So we're back. Sorry. Okay, so what was the question? Now everybody's in suspense.
From Kelsey Go.
Let's go ahead and make Christian feel even more uncomfortable for asking this question.
I'm not uncomfortable.
You were
friends.
real uncomfortable asking this question.
Can we add a new segment called Brad's Cheesecloth Condom Pick of the Week?
And my answer was abso-freaking-lutely. All right, I'm going to try to keep it PG-13. I already had my one F word for the stream, so I'm out.
All right, next question. For CJ.
Actually, hold on. You know what? We already have one. I already have a good cheesecloth condom stock, and it's Kodak. I've already gotten a bunch of people asking me about Kodak this week and how well it's going to do. Fine, let it run without me. I'm telling you, it will be right back to where it was. So Kodak is the cheesecloth condom stock of the week.
All right, so it's a new segment. It's in. Thank you, Kelsey. I've got to say that every week. All right, CJ asks, so Boeing sold 2 jets. We talked about this as well in the membership. Is this an indicator that airline stocks are coming back, like Delta and Southwest?
So I did actually put a video out on airlines this week, and my answer remains the same. I think that Southwest does continue to do well. I don't think that it continues to do great. I think it continues to just slowly do well. My concern with Delta and a lot of and American Airlines is just straight trash, so let's not even talk about that. But with the international stocks or international airliners such as Delta, it's going to be a struggle for them because there's a lot of places that are still cutting off American travel. So I think that it's going to be a really big struggle for them. But I do like Southwest. It's probably, and really kind of any of the other domestic ones, it seems to be that they're on the right path to recovery, but it's still going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a lot of turbulence, if you know what I'm saying.
My dear Lord.
I know, I'm such a nerd.
All right, next question. Sorry, I lost that for a second. Here we go. Next question is for Kenny Miramontes Huerta. What happens if I put a stop? Did you like that?
That was good. That was good.
What happens if I put a stop loss for Tesla at 2,000 and then it splits? Does it automatically sell?
God, I have no idea. Ask your broker. I think it probably is broker by broker basis, to be completely honest with you. I have no idea.
All right, next question. Thanks for nothing, Brad. For Josh Holden, saw you mention the cup formation on Rocket. I'm beginning to get very bullish on the stock. What are your thoughts?
So, so Rocket I love a lot. There's a lot of reasons. I think that they're going to be probably the highest grossing IPO this year of 2020. One of the biggest reasons is mortgages. I mean, the real estate market is going absolutely insane, and the amount of debt that Rocket has isn't really all that much. The IPO is set to be worth around $40 billion by the time it's all said and done. I think it actually exceeds that. I don't think that I would hold on to Rocket forever, but I think this is just a wave that we ride into 2021 because the real estate market is not going to slow down anytime soon. I think people who can afford a mortgage are just going to start scooping it up like crazy, or scooping up houses like crazy. And I think that Rocket's going to continue to just blow everybody out of the water when it comes to that.
All right, Amy K. Wants to know what you think about SHLL Tortoise Group. Will it continue to go up with the upcoming merger? And then what are your thoughts after the merger?
So here's my thoughts on this. And we've talked about these speculative EV stocks ad nauseum. Look, if you want to own Shell into the merger, I'm sure we'll see a really big pop once the merger actually goes through, if it goes through, because that's still up in the air. There's no guarantees that's going to happen. If it continues to go, then it'll probably pop, but it's probably going to do a little bit of a same type of movement. And I know that not a lot of people are going to like this. This is an unpopular opinion, but it's probably going to pop and it's going to sell off and it's going to fizzle out and it's going to do exactly what Nikola is doing because they need money. They need to, probably one or two offerings at least of several million shares. So I think that's the only way they're going to be able to raise capital. So if you go into that with that understanding, knowing that it's probably going to move going into the merger, but that the dump-a-thon has to happen at some point. It's the only way that they're going to be able to make money because they're not making a bunch right now. So take that for what you will. It's super speculative, super risky, but if you can afford it, then yes, take it by all means.
Next question, Aaron Medrano. I almost feel like I should ask the questions in what I think their voice would sound like so that they may get offensive. But he asks, what is up with TJ Maxx, man? Should we continue to hold?
Yeah, TJ Maxx. All right, so that was one where, hold on, do I have that? When Brad was wrong.
I wish I could hear it.
I know, you need to get headphones. So that was one where I was wrong. Not that they wouldn't be, because I did say that they were going to be, but I was wrong on the movement. The outlook was not really all that great, but I do think that if we go back and talk about the balances that we want to try to create with recovery stocks and having these tech stocks in our hand too that got us to this point, then I think TJ Maxx is set up to be in that position. So if you want to hold on to a recovery stock like TJ Maxx, it sucked. Yeah, it's sitting down in the low 50s, but I think that it is worth holding on to and that it does recover. Do you have opinions on that one, Christian? Like just the retail stores and all that?
Oh, man. You know what? I like the ones that, like, do you consider Target retail?
Yeah. Target,
so, like,
Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to lean more towards that because they have other offerings. And when you have things like groceries, you can sort of hedge your bets.
Yeah.
I know you like TJ Maxx. I haven't invested in it. I've kind of stayed away from it because I just don't know where it's going.
Yeah. I mean, and that's fair. That's fair for sure. By the way, Aaron said that you pronounced his name perfectly.
Awesome. Well, we got the next name, Robert Paula. There's a lot of Hispanic names, which just
this is great.
Awesome. So I would like to know about LCA if you think this will be the next DraftKings.
I haven't done enough fundamental analysis on LCA. So what I'm going to do is when I don't know enough about the fundamentals, I'm just going to go and lean on some of the technicals here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up. And what I see is a potential cup and handle pattern. So I'm going to share my screen with you again and bring up Webull. There we go. And so looking at this, I think that we could see a potential cup and handle forming here. And basically what this is that if you don't know what cup and handles are, this is, if you imagine kind of like the profile of a teacup, for example, right? And then the teacup has a handle. And so right now we're starting to see that cup and handle form. And it could potentially be a really bullish indicator here. So we'll start to see some consolidation. And then if this can somehow break up above this resistance at around 1484 and even these highs here at 1525, this should really make a nice bull move. And look, LCA, I think that it's one of these things where obviously it depends a lot on sports, right? And we're seeing sports start to come back, and it'll be interesting to see how the NFL plays out. But this is just something that I think is totally dependent on that. And the times that we're living in right now makes it really difficult for people to kind of bet on sports. But I do think that could be one to potentially hold on to. But to be honest with you, I like Penn National better. I know that it's not as cheap. And the allure here is that it's only at $14.50. But I think that if you're going to get into a good quality stock that focuses on sports betting, why wouldn't you go with the best? And the best is Barstool. That's there's no question about that.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm shaking my head over here because, again, no offense, I think we're trying to get cute. And I know what you created Only Chaos on. It's not get rich quick. It's not gambling.
Yeah.
It's be smart, be consistent. And so you have Penn, you have DraftKings too. They didn't have great earnings, but that's still a company that I would recommend. And one we both love is MGM, which has BetMGM, which is the gambling, sort of the online gambling space. But then they also have their casinos as well. And MGM I'm still very bullish on MGM. It has a lot of room to run if you're afraid of where Penn is at. But Penn, to me, I agree, is number one.
Yeah. All right,
so the next question we have, I've tried this one before. Madhusudan Dixit. This is your stock here, man. Work is struggling. What's happening, bruh?
Work. Yeah, I know. I don't know, honestly. I don't know why people don't like this one over any of the other remote work plays, but I got to believe that long-term this thing's still going to do well. I don't know if it's because people don't like to use it because it's the older generation, and I'm trying to tread lightly here, that don't really appreciate Slack all that much. But when you look at companies like Shopify and a lot of the other clients they have, they love Slack a ton. So I think that this is only going to continue to gain traction. And if you have the patience for it, then you can hold on to it. But if it's just too painful for you, then obviously you got to do what you got to do. But I do think that Slack has a good future ahead of them.
Well, and I'll add to that because there's people that are huge fans of Slack. A stock I'll say that I'm more confident in that I think is in a way a competitor is Zoom. Ironically enough, people wouldn't think that. It's an expensive stock, but we both love the stock.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think everything Zoom's doing is they're actually, right now we're in a channel with Zoom, and that's a function. So they offer other things, not just that. And that's my one concern about Slack from the long term is how can they continue to monetize, and really how can they diversify their offerings. But I do agree, I'm fine with the play, but to me it's not moving. Like Zoom would be a great play because we love it. We love Zoom.
Right.
All right, so we have 2 more questions, and then I actually have a question that I'm going to ask.
Okay.
To throw out.
Let's do it.
Richard Leland, what do you think about the Airbnb IPO?
Oh, this is a good question. I think that Airbnb should have IPO'd a long time ago. And look, anytime anything IPOs, it's speculative until we have all of the numbers and everything looks great. I don't think their prospectus is out just yet. I don't think so because they confidentially filed for the IPO. So once that comes out, I think we'll have a clearer picture of what exactly does Airbnb look like. But this will be interesting because I think when people do start truly traveling again or are comfortable staying in places that aren't their homes or RVs or whatever, that I think more people are going to look towards these Airbnbs over a hotel. Ironically enough, I think that that's still. I mean, that was obviously the trend going before the Rona hit, but I think that it's going to be even more so once we start to roll out of here, because I think that people are just going to feel unsafe in a hotel. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of my sentiments on it.
Yeah. I just actually want to throw out Mike Hudson made a comment which I would like to echo, which we talked about Zoom, Microsoft Teams, as well as competed with stock. Microsoft's a great stock. Not enough people talk about it. I love Microsoft. So with that said, the last community question, Diz333, what are your thoughts on Panasonic with their Tesla battery deal?
I think it's kind of irrelevant. Panasonic, they've been in and out with Tesla as far as their relationship is concerned.